Hello and welcome to my channel. So for a long time already, I'm really interested in the topic of projection mapping. And well, I have already one tutorial on my channel about it. But yeah, I was looking for a new way to generate even better content. And yeah, so I developed a workflow in comfyUI, which is like a node-based stable diffusion interface, if you don't know. And yeah, you can create perfectly aligned content for any projection surface of your choice. Here in the background, you see a video of a projection mapping gig that I had recently. And I used only this workflow here to generate everything in it, like all the content. So you can actually make money with that as well. All right, so what do you need? Actually, you just need to have a photo from the exact perspective where the projector will stand. And after that, you can just choose some style references and hit render and just let it render for 1 or 2 nights. And yeah, you will have a huge amount of mapping content. And in this video, I will explain the workflow and also how I interpolate the content and also how I did the final mapping with TouchDesigner. But you can also use any other software that you like Resolum or MapMapper or whatever. The comfyUI and TouchDesigner project files are available on my Patreon only, but by watching this video, you can get the concept behind it and probably come up with a workflow on your own. And if you never used comfyUI before, please watch the video that's linked in the description that shows how you can install it. Yeah, I will not cover the installation process here in that video. And also just to let you know, I am using a NVIDIA 3060 with 12 GB of video RAM, which is enough for this workflow. If you have less video RAM, like 8 GB, you might need to reduce the resolution. Yeah, like I said, with the 3060, it works perfectly fine. Okay, then let's start. Okay, so if you load my workflow in comfyUI, it should look like this here. And I will just go over it now. Not in detail, but I'm just going to explain roughly what each section is doing and what you can change here to play around with. So first we have our checkpoint node here. So this is your stable diffusion checkpoint. Yeah, I'm working with stable diffusion 1.5 here. Yeah, you should also use the 1.5 model. I really like absolute reality, but you can also go with other ones. Here that LoRa, you just need the LCM stable diffusion 1.5 LoRa. And about the text prompts, you don't have to worry. It doesn't do anything because we are using images as style references, which kind of act like our prompts, you know. Down here, you can set how many frames your video will have in the end. So if you're just trying out, you know, just put it to like 15 or something, then the render goes faster because there's less frames. But yeah, I just have it to 45 here for now. I will get into the length of the video later, but just to let you know already, we will do some frame interpolation afterwards so that your video is in the end longer than 45 frames. So here you can just set your resolution of your video. It's important that you have to keep the correct aspect ratio for your projector output later as well. So in my case, it was a projector with 16:10 aspect ratio. Yeah, so that's why I chose this here. But of course, if you need 16:9 or whatever, you will just have to put your correct resolution here. Okay, and then next, these are all the animate diff nodes here. You don't really have to change much here. So all these nodes, they're just responsible for generating consistent animations. Yeah, that each frame flows smoothly into the next one, that it's not some flickery video. And You can play with the motion scale here. I would recommend ranges between 0.8, which is almost no movement, and maybe up to 1.2, which is a lot of movement. The rest you don't have to worry about, except this one here. This is the motion LoRa here, and there's, I don't know, hundreds of different motion LoRas, and you can just use whatever you want and experiment with it, and of course also set the strength. And also, by the way, here are also some comments always, so you can, if you have the workflow, you can just read it later again. And then this is an interesting part here. So in here we need to put the mask of our projection surface. So how I do it is I take a photo from the exact position from where the projector will stand, that we will use later for the projection. I take a photo of it, and then I use either Photoshop or Photopea is also like Photoshop, but just for free and online. And then you can color your mask. And with these different colors, you can assign for each different color, you can assign a different style reference. Yeah. So, for example, now here in the output that we have, here, this is just an example. We have, what do we have? We have the right one here, which is the red part, I think, for, where is it here? For the windows. And the blue one takes this here as a style reference, as you can see. But of course, you can also use up to 8 style references or 8 colors as well. So you just have to connect then the correct color here. So you can use red, green, blue, yellow, black, white, and so on. And now this setup here is prepared for 2 style references. But if you want more, you can just copy these nodes, just make a copy and, chain them up just like these ones here. They're also just connected like in a chain, and yeah, you can use up to 8 for it. And well, this area, here's the IP adapter or the style reference, which is, like I said, this picture will be used to, as a style of your animation, according, of course, to their position on the map here, on the mask. So right now I have this image folder iteration going on here. So you can just put the folder path here, and it will automatically go, like for each render, it will go through the folder and either choose a random image as a style reference, or you can just increment or decrement the number of the image, which is a style reference. Up to you. Or if you just want to use a specific image, you can right click here and, where is it? Actually click on bypass, and you can just, upload any video that you any image that you want here. And then you just have to connect this output to here, to the image scale, to total pixels. And then this image is the style reference. But yeah, I would recommend, if you are doing a show or if you just want to have a lot of content, collect a lot of style references and then just put them all in a folder, put them as a path here and set it to random and activate the auto queue here. And then you can just leave it running overnight or for days, and you have a lot of content for your shows without doing anything after preparing, So that's what I really like about this workflow. Once it's prepared, you just have to start the queue, and yeah, just leave it running for a while. Okay, now let's get to the control nets. So control nets, they kind of guide your animation that it sticks to your input mask. And there's different ones, you know, there's the depth control net, the line art, Kenny, QR code monster, etc. Yeah, you can just download any 1.5 control nets and play around with them. But I have found that so depth and line art, they work really good together in combination. And then we have a third one here, which is the QR code monster, but actually one after another. And yeah, what can you do here? So first, of course, you can choose your control net, and you can also set the strength and the start and end percentage. So if you set the strength and the start or the end to 1, then the animation sticks really precisely to your input mask. Yeah, if you set it to 0.5 or a little bit less, you give the animation some freedom. You know, it's not sticking 100% to the mask, which can get you yeah, really interesting effects. As here's just a preprocessor. According to the, you just have to adjust it to your control net. But yeah, if you have a depth control net, you need a depth preprocessor. And if you have a line art, you can use a Kenny Edge or something that makes lines. Yeah, you can try out here. And in here, you can either put a black and white mask, or you can also just put the real photo of your image, of your projection surface. And yeah, down here you just see what the control net mask then looks like. Here's also some more information. And just as an example, so this animation here is made with the 2 control nets that's active now. Yeah, so the depth and the line art. So this actually sticks pretty precisely to the mask, the QR code monster. It looks a little bit more organic, and let me actually just open an example of that. So this one here is actually made with the QR code monster control net. Yeah, you see the shapes are not 100%, but it also gives you some good videos. And this one here is also made with the QR code. As you see, it's, yeah, it doesn't stick 100% to the input mask, but like I said, it gives really interesting effects. Let me look for another example. This one here is also made with a QR code. This one as well. This one here is made with the depth and line art, so it sticks way more to the input mask. And yeah, also QR code. They look just more organic. All right, back to the workflow. So if you want to use the depth and the line art, you can just leave it like this. If you want to use the control net, you have to right click on the group node here and set bypass group nodes, this one as well. And then here you can set group nodes to always, and then this one is active here. Yeah. Then what else do we have? The next section. Oh yeah, maybe one more thing. The more control nets you use, the more video RAM you need as well. So if you're running out of video RAM, maybe try just using 1 control net instead of 2 or 3 or whatever. Okay, then we're coming to the end of the workflow. So here is like the render section, and this is just a case sampler. Don't do anything here, except maybe you can either set your seed to fixed or to random. Yeah, doesn't really matter, except when your generations keep looking shit and your seed is fixed, just change the seed or set it to random, you know. Okay. And here is an Highres Fix script. This is upscaling your video in latent space, meaning in like AI space, which adds a lot of detail actually to your images, but it adds a lot of render time, and it also takes a lot of video RAM. So if you don't have a lot of video RAM, you might want to right click and just bypass it. But yeah, I have it set to the upscale factor here. This is the only thing you have to change. So this is a factor, which it gets upscaled by. I have 12 GB of video RAM, and I can upscale it by 1.5 or sometimes even 1.75. If I go above, I get an out of memory error. Okay, and here on the video combine node, this is actually your, you can set the frame rate of your video. Like I said in the beginning, I like to create with 15 frames per second because we use frame interpolation later, which makes the video smooth again and just creates the in-between frames, you know. And here you can just set your file name. You can choose your video format. So I like to use MP4 and the CRF of 13. That gives pretty good quality. But of course, if you need something else, or ProRes is of course the most lossless video format, you can just use ProRes, but your video files will get really huge with that. So yeah. And one more thing in the end, I also added another upscaler here in case you don't have Topaz Video AI or some other upscaling software. So let me just activate it and show it to you. So this is an upscaler on, like, it's a pixel-based upscaler. That means it upscales your video, but it doesn't really add details. I mean, you have a higher resolution after that and it looks sharper, but it's not as good as a latent upscaling, just to let you know, but still it's very useful, I think. So I'm just going to deactivate it here and bypass group nodes. And yeah, that's the comfyUI part. Oh no, and actually I forgot one important thing. So when you activate the auto queue here, and then it will keep generating videos and just changing the style references from the folder that you set, and just always pick a different style reference and run it again and again and again till you stop it. Okay, then this is here the original render from comfyUI. As you see, it looks kind of choppy because it's just running on 15 frames per second, but we can fix that easily and quick with Flowframes. This is a free tool. I will also put the link down in the description, and you can go to the Interpolation tab here and just drag and drop, or you can also use whole folders, but I'm just going to use now this video here. And here you see the original frame rate, and I like to set it to ×4, so, and to 2 times slow motion. And let's just interpolate it. It's actually pretty quick. Okay, 13 seconds. And now we have here, so let's maybe compare. This is the original. And this here is the interpolated one. So yeah, you see the difference. On the left, it looks way smoother and yeah, not so choppy anymore. And yeah, you can just do it with all your rendered videos. Yeah, you can also, like I said, just choose a folder here, or if you just drag and drop a lot, I think you can even do like batch upscaling, batch interpolation. Yeah, so you can just choose all your videos and drag and drop it here, and then click start, and it's going to interpolate all your videos. Okay, then I just cut together all the videos in, you can do it in Premiere Pro or whatever video editing software. I'm gonna explain that now. Just choose your favorite clips and, you know, cut them together. Or you could also load them all separate in your mapping software. Like I'm using TouchDesigner here, but you can of course also just use Resolume or whatever mapping software you are comfortable in. And I'm just gonna show my workflow in TouchDesigner now. So here's just my final video, and I just connect it to a level top so that you can adjust the brightness here. And just in case you never use TouchDesigner, if you just double click on the network, you can find the level top here. And then I also imported another black and white mask of the building. So the white part is the projected area, and the black part, there should nothing be projected on. So like you can see here. I mean, the videos, they are mostly like almost perfect already anyways, that you wouldn't even need a mask. But sometimes there is like some bright pixels going on here outside. So yeah, just in case, I use this mask. And then we have the stoner tool in TouchDesigner, which you can find in the palette. When you open the palette here under mapping and stoner, you can just drag and drop it. And in here we can fine adjust our mapping. Yeah. So let me just reset everything. Oh, it's actually reset. So you can do a keystone correction here to adjust it roughly, you know. And what I find very practical is the grid warp. So yeah, let's say it's only one specific area that it doesn't really match. So you can just add as many rows or columns as you want. You can even just put the number here. And yeah, just drag and drop, just drag around these points here to adjust it so that it fits perfectly on your projection surface. Okay, I'm just gonna reset this here. Close the stoner. Well, and that's actually it already. Then I'm just using a window comp, which you can find here under comps and then window. And here you just have to set your monitor output. Yeah, 0 is most of the time, like on laptops at least, the monitor that's connected. And then for each HDMI or whatever output you have, you can count it here. Yeah, here on the settings, just set DPI scaling to native, opening size to fill, and click update. And then it updates to the resolution of your output projector or monitor. Have the borders off and always on top on. And then if you click open a separate window, you get your only your output here. Yeah, if you have set it to 1 and you have a projector connected, then it just opens there, of course. And you can close it with escape. Yeah, that's the mapping part. Okay, so using this information and this workflow, you can earn real money from projection mapping gigs. And I know comfyUI can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but once it's set up, you can just load this workflow and create so much content without any extra work. You know, just hit auto queue and leave it running for days if you want. So yeah, it's really worth it to set it up correctly one time. And like I said in the beginning, the project files are only available on my Patreon because I know there's lots of money to be made with that. And also it supports me to keep creating videos like this one here. More videos on this topic are already planned, and yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, peace out.